So we're going to go and take a look at our first email question. It comes from one of our viewers, and that question comes from Kawana. Kawana says, my car caught fire a few days after I had gotten it serviced, and a few days after I received a recall notice. I was driving on the interstate at that time. While running away from the fire, I fell. The doctors first thought I tore my rotator cuff, but the MRI didn't show. I lost my normal range of motion. I can't walk, drive, or sit for a long time, or do most of the activities I used to do with my 6-year-old son. I'm in extreme daily pain. Do I have any claim against the automaker or the repair shop? Thank you so much for your question. And Rocket, you want to answer?
Well, Kawana, I'm sorry. It sounds like you got a lot going on. It's a very unfortunate situation, so I'm sorry to hear that. I think you might have a case against the service company, possibly one against the car manufacturer, but what I really want to know is, why did the car catch on fire? And that wasn't part of the question. That's fine, but let me try to give you a little guidance here. I think that you have a potential case against the person that serviced it, depending on what it was that actually was the root cause of the fire. Now, talking about your injuries, sounds like you have a shoulder injury. You could even have what's called a torn rotator cuff, and I've done a lot of shoulder cases. Usually, a torn rotator cuff will show up on an MRI, but occasionally it won't. Other types of shoulder injuries won't show up. Or you could have had degenerative conditions like arthritis or things like that were not symptomatic, and then you have a wreck or an impact, and now they become symptomatic, and you can recover for that. So I think that you potentially have a case. I need to know a little bit more. I'm sorry to hear that this happened to you, and I hope you're certainly feeling better, because shoulder injuries are really bad, Tamika, and like I said, I've done quite a few of these, because you just can't get around without moving your shoulder, because you got to lift overhead, you got to reach and turn your keys, and if you can't do that kind of stuff, you can't hold your baby. There's just a lot of different things how it impacts your daily living in a really bad way.
All right, thank you so much for your question, Kwana.